from the Sports Zone studios. This is Shepherd Hill Sports Zone with Cameron Simpson.
Hello, I'm Lucas Perry here with Shepherd Hill Sports Zone, and I'm here with Cameron Simpson, and this is the Shepherd Hill Sports Zone Spring Preview.
Hey, Lucas, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Ready for the spring sports season?
Yeah, I'm excited. Should be a lot of fun this year.
Yep. All right, to get started, we can talk about baseball. Today they had their first, correct me if I'm wrong, first game of the season, regular
Yeah,
season?
it was.
And they won 13-3. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, so I was out there today, got to watch some of the game, and it was great to see them finally get out and play because they were rained out against Grafton on Friday, and they've been working really hard since March. So for the players that I was talking to, they're just very excited to be getting out there and being able to play the game. I'll tell you, the pitching looked very well. Angel started the game. Of course, he's going to be the guy that a lot of us are going to be watching this year, throwing some of those balls over 90 miles per hour. So he was out there. He pitched very well. And then we saw Dylan come in, McCormick. And we saw some of that secondary pitching. Croto came in too towards the end. So we'll see how it goes. It's a busy week for the team, as you know, Lucas, because they're here Wednesday and then Friday. So that will be a big test for the team. But I can tell you that the players' expectations are very high on this year.
You mentioned Angel, Dylan, and Croto. Who are some other players like in the field that are also some big names for this season coming up?
Yeah, that's a really great question, Lucas. I mean, we'll start with catcher. I think Jake Ramsey comes to mind. He's someone that's been a core person of this team for years. And so now he'll really take a big leadership role there. I look at some of the captains too, the senior captains this year. Andrew Lancette, you took a pretty big leadership role today. You could see that out there in the dugout. And so he's someone that has been in this program for years. He's seen the side of playing. He's seen the side of watching on the bench and seeing some other guys go through, like Tommy Hennessy and players like that in the past. So he'll be someone to watch this year. Devin Roden in the outfield. He's one of those athletes that's always out there. We talk about him in football. We talk about him in the winter, usually with basketball, this year with track. And he's someone that plays well. I think, though, for the most part, those players that I already mentioned, Croto on third, he'll be someone to watch. I think Dylan, we talked about him pitching, but stepping on a first base, I'll be watching. And I always keep my eyes out there in the middle of the field because you always got to protect those caps. Caden Green did a good job. And I believe it was Landon DeVoe out there today in that spot too. And he played very well.
Yeah. Going to the JV side, they did have a tough game at Auburn, losing 3-13. And that's just not, I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, some of it was their first game of the season. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, this is more your ballpark too, Lucas, than me when it comes to these boys. But I know from talking to the players that are up on the varsity level, they do have some respect for a couple of these, for most of these JV players that are really talented. I think that they need to come together as a team too. It's much easier for a varsity team, in my opinion, to come together and just form the team right away because you've been here for a while. You already have the core culture. And even if you're new, you just jump right in. But I think that it's safe to say that the team will take some growing pains, but they'll get there. And I think we'll see how these other games go.
Yeah, as you were saying about coming together, they did have a tough game in the field, having 7 errors, and that's not looking good. But it'll get better.
Yeah, 100%.
And then going to softball, I'm not sure what the score was of the varsity game. Can you tell me?
Yeah, incredible game. 3-2. They won it in the 9th inning in extra innings.
Oxford, correct?
No, today they played St. Paul. The GB team played Oxford. It's a weird schedule. It's very weird how they're all playing different teams. But yeah.
How did you watch any of that game? How did you feel about it?
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get over there and watch all of it. But I've talked to some of the players post game, and the players feel very good about this win because I can tell you going into it when I saw some of them in the halls today, they were all talking about how this was going to be a tough game. This was going to be a really tough game. They thought this was a tough team. 2-2 in the 9th inning, going in extras and getting the walk-off. I mean, there's no better feeling than that.
Yeah, that's
so the players are feeling really great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and JV also did have a 15-1 game. That's pretty good for them. And going to boys and girls lacrosse, boys' record is 1-2 so far this season. It's been fine. I mean, they're looking to do better than last year. Their disappointing season from last year. How do you feel about this team?
Yeah, I mean, this is the big question mark of the spring season, I think, when we look at the preview. I mean, the other teams you feel like you know a little bit about them. And but for boys lacrosse, the players, and this, I know I keep saying this, the players, but after their preseason, they felt really, really good about the stance they are. They actually really do feel like they have a chance to have a really great rebound of a year. It was a little shaky, but they played really, really great teams. I mean, they played Nipmunk, which is one of the better teams out there in Massachusetts. So that was a tough game for them, 17-7, if I'm remembering correctly. That was the game.
Yeah.
But I'm more curious to see how it goes when they play more of these league games coming up. I can't remember on the top of my head what their schedule is this week. But Littleton was another tough game. So it's just tough. When it comes to the feeling about this team, I think they have a very top heavy senior squad, and then it kind of is young and it's sprinkled in. It's so lacrosse is one of those sports where it's like people will pick it up when they jump into high school. So it's tough to kind of build in that format. So we'll see how they do.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of new freshmen that have never played before, or sophomores that kind of just started in high school, and they're getting used to it.
Yeah, and that's just kind of how it is in lacrosse. And then I just want to circle back a second, on softball, because I just had one more point about their season, because I think it's important to note that they're bumping up into that next division, higher division this year too. So the fact that they already have this 2-0, we'll probably talk about this later in this year when it gets closer to playoff time, but that's huge for the power rankings. I just wanted to mention this thing that those players too feel like they have a really great chance this playoff year. I mean, for both of these teams, they felt like they were stuck in the power rankings because they played teams that you would win, but it would lower your power ranking. And it's like, that's just so frustrating. They really feel confident about this year too. And pitching is where it's going to be. Like softball is different than baseball because they could pitch the same pitcher every game really and get away with it in a solid way. So we'll see how Maddie Karp can do out there pitching each and every, pretty much probably most of the games this season. But I just want to say that, and boys lacrosse too, I think we'll have to watch.
Yeah, going back to softball, I think they're feeling good after moving up. I think they could have a good season in Division One.
No, I totally agree, Lucas. I mean, this team is built for it. They have a lot of good seniors, but the junior class is really who shines on this team. And not to take away from the seniors, they're all very good. But that junior class is also really good on this team.
Yeah, and now switching from boys lacrosse to girls lacrosse, and I don't know if this is just me, but I don't know much about them. Can you say anything?
Yeah, well, Lucas, that's very reasonable for you not to know much about them because last year was one of their best seasons. But you're just jumping in, and I would say this is a team that will be very, very sneaky good this year. I think when it comes to the spring, Coach Fillion does a really great job with this team. He has for years. He's built this program up to last year being one of its most successful years since I was in the school. I'm curious to see how it goes again this year. They had a big win against Littleton. And they had a tough battle against Tantascwa, who's historically had a good program. It's just still so early in the season to kind of get a read on it. I talked to a couple players on this team too, some of the upperclassmen. They feel like they can continue that momentum from last year. They lost some really great seniors that were kind of a rock into that team and that were really solid. But they feel good. They feel good about this year. And I would say they're bound to have another successful season and potentially lead the mid-watch.
Yeah, I'm going to track. It's more individuals. So who are some players we could look out for this season?
Yeah, I've been saying this a lot on the show about the track team. Is like the spring track team somehow, some way, always just becomes a team to watch in this time of the year. I'll start with the boys because they were already ranked on the mid-watch level. I forget exactly where they were. I want to say they were the top 10 though, going into the season. Tony Graves is someone that we always watch when it comes to track. I mean, he's an unbelievable runner, unbelievable athlete out there. And so we'll see how he does. Spring is when it's one of the seasons that he likes the most. So watch that. I like the hurdlers on the boys team. Will King, Jack Arell. I believe Noah's running again as well. So that's another guy that I'll be watching. He had an incredible winter. So, I mean, we saw him win that state championship, trying to carry that momentum in. Yep. On the girls' side, it's many of the same players. I mean, they lose some of their players that they had in the winter, like Emily Holkren, who goes over to play softball. But there's still a core group there, Nicolina Holland, Brianna Jankowski, and many others that have been on this team for a good chunk of the time. So they'll go out there and look to run. But you're right. It's very individual, and sometimes the individuals stand out that you haven't seen for most of the season. So we'll see how they do. Their first meet for the boys is Wednesday. The girls are on the road on Wednesday. But what's fun about spring, Lucas, is that they do come up to Shepherd Hill. We actually get to see a meet once in a while.
Mhm. Yeah, and for the boys, like a lot of their basketball players come and join the team in the spring. So we have a lot of new faces in the cross country slash track area for the spring, and they only join in the spring. So it's gonna be very interesting. And there's a big number this year. At the beginning of the season, I know it was 72. So let's see,
Yeah.
we can see what
Wow.
happens.
Yeah, that's a huge number. And you know what it is? It's most of those athletes do that. They come in and they run track because the way coach runs it is
Mhm.
it's very intense.
Yeah.
You know, I talked with Jack, and then I talked with maybe it was Nicolina about the track, the workouts they've been running, and it's like
Yeah.
it's incredibly intense that they've been out there almost every day, and they've been having hard workouts. So for those athletes to stay in shape over the spring, especially the basketball players, that's a great point that you bring up. And it's just coming in. I think shot put as well. That'll be interesting to watch. Like there's just little things, long jump. So track is so vast. You know, we could probably do an entire show talking about the little individual parts of it.
Yeah. So now we're gonna switch to boys and girls tennis. So boys won their match today. There's a doubleheader against who was it? I don't remember who it was against, but then they won their doubleheader. So now they moved to 3-0 on the season. They need 8 wins to make states. And then the girls, I know they won their first match. I haven't heard anything since. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, the girls, I believe, won again. I think they have 2 wins so far in the year.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's not much to say. I mean, it's very good looking so far for them, and I think both teams can make states.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear your take too on the tennis team. I know you're close with those guys and you're following along. For the boys, it was a heartbreak last year. I mean, they went to Auburn and they were this close to making it to the states, and they wanted it. They wanted it bad last year, and I know many of them wanted it again this year. So I can tell you, I'm rooting for them. I like when the tennis comes down the stretch, and I like when it's a state championship and they can make it there. 8 wins is not you think it's not a high burden, but when you look at the schedule, I mean, there's not too many games out there to get. So it's tough, and I hope they are able to do it, and I have confidence that they will. Watching Jamison and players like that on the boys' side, on the singles, the double squad, Ty is out there, I believe.
Yeah, Tyler's with Adam Haas.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, Adam Haas, I just saw him on volleyball the other night. Seems like an incredible athlete. Well, how is he doing coming in with this team and already making out doubles?
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Today they won 8-0 in both sets. And the second doubles, Andrew and Aiden, they also won 8-0 in both sets. So it's looking pretty good for both doubles teams. And they did have a pretty dominant win in their other match that they played. So both of those are looking pretty good.
Yeah, that is positive. And the girls' side, Ashley Heath has been one of the better tennis for girls most of the year, most of her time there. So she's someone to watch. And it's not just her; it's that whole team is good. I don't know if they made states last year. It's escaping my memory, but I know my sophomore year, so that would be 2 years ago. They made it, and that girls' team's looking to. It'd be great to have both of those teams in the race come June.
Yeah, that's all I have. Do you have anything else to say about any of the teams?
No, I think the spring, it's my favorite time of year when it comes to season. I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know about you, Lucas, but like I like the fall. I like football. I like soccer and all them. But when you can head outside and you can go up to the track, you can go up to the turf, you can go up to the fields or the tennis courts, and you have games all day long. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to this final half of the year and then handing the reins off.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good because there's always something going on up at Shepherd Hill during spring. Yep. All right, so that's all I have. So this is Shepherd Hill Sports Zone. I'm Lucas Perry, and there's Cam Simpson. Thank you.
Thanks for watching Shepherd Hill Sports Zone, your place for Rams sports news.